Hi, Nadeem here from Smart Riding Gadgets. I'm just about to install the M901 Alien Rider spotlights. Now, these are really nice units. I think I've done an unboxing video already on the channel just to show what these look like, but they are just very nicely made. It seems fairly straightforward on how it's going to install. This is on the back of the card here, which just gives you a full diagram of how everything fits together in terms of the bracket going onto the spotlights and a wiring diagram. But it does seem fairly straightforward. So, I mean, this is the main control box, which is, also the gravity sensors in here, as I understand it. It's got on it already saying left, right, front, rear. So it has to go somewhere under the seat here in a central position, and then we have to calibrate this at some point once it's all fitted, so that the gravity sensor knows that right where it's sitting right now is even. And I've got it in the centre stand, and in the studio here the floor is even, so that shouldn't be a problem. Then we have the control unit, with the buttons on it. This has got a mount for the mirror stock. So I think I will actually put it in here because that seems like a nice enough place. Because on the other side, I've got the BMW spotlights here, up here. So here on the mirror stock, that's going to be fine. The wiring seems straightforward. I'm not sure about this box here, which is the power box, which it says on it that it gets very hot and to put in a well ventilated area. So I'm going to have to think about where that is actually going to go. It shouldn't be too much of an issue or anything though. The rest of the wiring is fairly straightforward. Yellow ignition switch cable and a positive and a negative. Now I've got a power box under the seat which powers all my accessories, and that can take up to 5 different accessories. I think there's only 2 on it at the moment, so this won't be a problem. So that's going to go in there. That's ignition switched as well. So the yellow cable, which is this one, which says ACC signal wire, I can just put that with a positive directly into that. So if you haven't got something like that, it's worth buying. The one I've got fitted at the moment is the Inov unit, which was about $60. There's loads of other boxes more expensive and about the same price. It's up to you guys, whichever one you want to use. But overall, it seems fairly straightforward. I've got the brackets here. I've already attached one to the bike because I've been trying to figure out where I was going to put it on the bike, and I think I've got that sorted as well. And that's where I'm going to start from. I think first thing I'm going to do is mount the lights onto the bike itself, so I know where they're going to go and then where I'm going to feed the wires from. I'm starting with the brackets to see where they're going to go. I've put this one on here. I've been trying them in different positions. I've tried them in various spots where I thought maybe I could try. I mean, the other alternative is you can buy kind of light bars that can go here and stick them under here, but I don't really want to do that at this point. The BMW standard spots are here. I'm going to keep these as well. And I think here is okay because I've been mucking around. And the thing is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the wiring in here. And I thought I might feed the wires in through here, just under the beak and then run them over the tank. I think that's the easiest. I mean, the other way of doing it, obviously, is take all these plastics off and put this maybe down here somewhere. I'm not really sure, but in my head, the simplest way of doing this is to put them here and just feed the wire through under here and then through to the tank. So that's what I'm going to do. So first thing, I'm going to remove this one and get the mount onto here and then go from there. Okay, so these are adjustable as well, so you can adjust the back and forth if you need to. So if you need to adjust, you can do so. I'll see what that does once it's on. And see if I needed to adjust at all. That's both spotlights on. I think they look quite nice there. That's the left-hand side unit. I do think these look really nice. I'm absolutely dying to see what they look like in the evening. Okay, so the spotlights are on in position where they're going to go. The next thing is all the wiring. Now, this is the main part of the wiring. None of this is very daunting or anything. It is fairly straightforward once you understand what you're doing. So the power is this side here. We've got positive, negative, and an ignition switch wire, which is the yellow one. Now, as I said, I've got the in-off box, which gives an ignition switch power up to 5 devices. So all I need to do is put the yellow and the red cable together into the positive on one of the feeds from the in-off box. If you haven't got one of them, there is on the GS's, there's a little fuse box here just under here, and there's a red and blue wire, and you can splice into that and just connect the ignition switch wire to it, and then run the positive cable to your battery and the negative if you want as well. So you can run them straight to the battery and this and there, and that means that the spotlights won't stay on if you switch the ignition off, so it's all powered from there. So switch the ignition off, everything is cut. That's why I like the in-off box. There are other solutions. There's the Hex Easy Can and various others. Hex Easy Can is one of the most popular because it's plug and play, because it just plugs into one of the modules here. You take that one out and plug in, and that's it. With this, you need to splice into that red and blue wire, which I've done previously. To be honest, I don't find it a difficult thing to do, and I'm not very good at electrics, generally speaking. So this is fairly straightforward to do if you want to do it. But anyway, so that's the power. Then this wire is marked main, and this is the control module, and this has also got the gravity sensor in it. It's all fairly straightforward because you can see that this has got yellow on it, and this is yellow. There's 4 pins, so that's going to fit in there. This blue one is marked as key. That's for the control unit, because that's blue as well down there. So that's going to go into this, right? But this one, I need to be sure where I'm going to put this. I'm not quite sure yet, because this needs to be in a level place, because this has got the gravity sensors in it, so it monitors when the bike is leaning over to put the adaptive lights on. So I may put it in here, in this cubby hole here. I've got so many wires here just now. I've just taken this all apart so that I can get into it easy. I'll tidy up again once I'm finished. But yeah, that's going to go there. So it's fairly straightforward. There is this control box, not control box, a power box converter. And it says on it that it produces high temperatures and install in a well ventilated place. So I still need to think about where I'm going to put this, but I'll work that out in a minute. First thing I'm going to do now is take the tank panel off so I can run the wires, the two that are running, that will be supplying power and everything to the spotlight. So I'm going to run them up the sides of the tank and over to there. So this part needs to come off. These are just T25 bolts. It's very easy to get the tank off. So if you've never done it before, don't get worried about it. It is really simple. There's 6 T25s. Then there's I think it's a T30 that's in the middle, just down there. Once you take them all off, that's it. There's 2 in here. If you've got a tank bag connector or anything on here, you need to take that off first, obviously. Okay, now to get this off, you just slip your fingers under here and it will just pop off. It's that simple. Right, so now that we've got that off, you can see I've got some wires running here already. So what I will be doing is running these two up either side of the tank. So there's two wires. So they are labelled as left and right so that you know. So that's the right hand side. I'm just going to feed in there just now, and this is the left hand side. Oh no, no, that's wrong. Left light, sorry, yeah, mix the two up. So right light and left. Right, so I've got the wire here, and what I thought was I want to connect them through here, hopefully. Yep. Right, I had a bit of a moment there because I couldn't get this part to feed through here, and I stopped the camera because I was getting a bit anxious about it, trying to work out what the hell to do next. But what I figured I had to do was here, I took this screw out from here, and this loosens this panel, and you can pull it out. There's two tabs here, and I just pulled that out, then fed the wire through like this to here, and it's fine now. So now I've put the tabs back in, and I'm just going to screw this back up. Now it's the same on the other side. It's actually quite easy once you know what to do, but I'm sorry I've already done this now, but like I said, just this screw here, you take that out and then just push this out and then feed the wire through, and that's the wire here. Now this is a bit untidy looking, I'm not exactly happy with this right now, but I don't think I've got a choice. There's not much I can do about this, I think, but I'll see. I mean, I'll cable tie at the very least anyway, but yeah, that's the solution there. I mean, this is the easiest way, and then this is the wire running down here, and there's the power block module. Next step is to get the control module fitted to the mirror. So I'm going to bang this on here, onto this mirror here. I've got this smart display here as well. It's mounted on top of it, so I don't want to take it off unless I absolutely need to. Right. Okay, so that's the control unit on there. I think I'm going to have to straighten this a little bit, but that seems okay. So that's the control unit on. That's the wire coming down to here. This is a bit short, I think. It really needs to be a bit longer, this one, but okay, it's going to reach to here, so that means the control module is going to have to go in here. So it definitely has to go here. There's nowhere else I can put it in. Next, I need to put this control module in. Now, the one small issue I've had is that this wire, which is to the controller, isn't quite long enough. I would have rather have fitted it up here, but I can't. So it's going to have to go under here. Excuse this mess just now because I've taken all these wires apart so that I can hook up the power and everything, then I'll tidy them up again. But I have to put this here, and I'm not sure if it makes a difference whether this is sloping down a little bit. It doesn't say in the instruction manual either. It just says, you know, it's got a picture of the handlebars and a tank, and it says left, right, front, rear, so that you put this in the correct orientation. So I think it should be okay. So that's what I'm going to have to do anyway. So I don't have a choice. But I'm going to stick this here somewhere so that the wires can all reach it. It's got 3M tape underneath it, very high bond stuff. So I'm just going to clean that off and then stick on. Just going to use some alcohol solution just to make it clean. I mean, if it is an issue, then what I can also do is put Velcro under it and take this sticky tape off and put some Velcro on it and change the angle. But I think it should be okay. Okay, so that's on. Blue wire to blue wire. I'm not going to tighten this on just now because I need to figure out under this mess of wires. I'll need to tidy that up first. Actually, I'm just going to take this apart right now, feed it underneath. And this one says main, and that goes into the power. Okay, so next is power. So I need to do one of these power cables. These ones are all from the in-off unit here, this one. God, this is a mess now. Right, this is the one that I got ready. Right, so I've got the positive wire coming out of the in-off, which is ignition switched. You know, so it's got the ACC already hooked up onto in the in-off unit. So that's already there. Right, so this is the positive cable from the in-off unit, you know, which is supplying power to all my accessories. So that's ignition switched already. That's already hooked up for all that. So what I need to do is put the positive cable from the spots and the ignition switch wire together and just join it to that. Okay, I just need to get these connectors off. So that's done. Okay, I'm just going to put one of these connectors on, and then I'll just put some insulation tape over it, and that should be the power connected, and then I just need to ground it. This cable is marked SPK. This is the one that you can join up for the horn to flash the lights, which I'm not going to hook up, not at this point anyway. I may do it some other point, but I need to check whether that's legal to do over here in Europe. I just feel that the cops wouldn't look too kindly on it. They don't like anything unusual, so you start doing that and cops see you don't want to be getting pulled over. So I'm not going to use that right now, so I'll just put some insulation tape on it. Right, so this is the one that's marked main. Now I'm going to have to find somewhere to mount this because this gets hot. To be honest, I think it's going to be okay here because it should get enough ventilation here. So I think it will be okay there. So this one has to connect to the control module, which is this wire. I know it's a big mess in here, I apologize. I'm going to tidy this up once I'm done. But this connects to here. I think that's all the wiring that I need to do right now. Am I missing anything? No, I think it's all hooked up. Okay, next stage is I think I will power it up, power the bike up and see what happens and just make sure that we've got power coming to the spots. And then there is a calibration process for the gravity sensor, and there's various other things that you can set the sensitivity of the, you know, the lean angles and stuff and how quickly you want it to come on. So there's 3 modes for that, and there's controlled by the 3 buttons on there. I was reading a little manual and there's loads of different ways to set up. I might have to cover that in a separate video and just say, right, this is how you cover it all. But at the moment, let's just get it switched on and see how it goes. Okay, so I put the tank cover back on and tidied up the wiring under the seat. I did run into an issue where it was blowing a fuse, and I think the fuses in the in-off unit were too small, but there was a fuse that was included in one of the packets that I didn't notice from Alien Rider. So I put that fuse in and that seems to have done the trick and it's staying on. Now the lights are actually really cool. Now on the back of them as well, you can see the amber on them and they're actually pretty bright. The front, I'll switch them on. That's the yellow. And these are super bright. And that's just the yellow mode. And you can have them both on like this. That's both sides on. I mean, I'm going to do a proper test and take it for a ride and everything, but I just thought as part of the installation, I would show this as well. Then you have the flashing mode, which is this one. So you've got a flashing yellow. Then you can flash both by pressing it again and then switch it off. Right, so there's a whole load of other functions on this, which I do not know how to operate yet, which I'm going to have to sit and figure all out. I still need to calibrate the gravity sensor from what I understand, but I'm going to do that as well at some point, and I'll probably do a video for that too. Thanks.